Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca, and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting transfer news. We start with Frank Kessie as the midfielder's future still remains in the balance, and he's still undecided despite the club putting pressure on him to leave the club. Where will his next destination be? We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Secondly, talking about Nico Gonzalez, as Nico Gonzalez wants to stay at Barca, but his father is pushing him to go to Portuguese Giants FC Porto on loan. We're also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. If there is one player who understands his situation at FC Barcelona and is open for an exit, it is Frank Kessie. The Ivory Coast international has been relatively receptive to talks of a departure so far this summer, but not much has materialized despite his willingness. According to reports from Marca, the midfielder's future is a mess. With multiple options lying on his table, the half chance that he could continue at Barca, Kessie is unable to take a definitive decision over his future. Given the chance, the former AC Milan star wishes to stay under Xavi's command. He understands that he will not see many minutes at the Catalan capital, especially with the arrival of Ilkay Gundogan and possibly two others, and thus does not rule out an exit either. Of the suitors lying at his doorstep, the Saudi Arabian giant Al Halil offer the economically most tempting proposal for the player. Of course, the Middle East club willing to offer a salary of 14 million with transfer fee ranging between 15 to 20 million across fixed and variables. Frank Kessie is really considering Al Hilal's offer, but he is still unsure if it is the right time for him to even leave Europe. Clubs like Juve are very interested in his situation, and they have offered him top level football for the foreseeable future if he do arrive. The player's future is thus at a standstill currently. As it stands, it appears that the player will travel with Barca to the USA for their pre-season tour and only decide his future after that, reassessing his involvement in the same. It will be provided him, with an accurate picture of his importance under coach Xavi Hernandez. So this contradicts reports from earlier this week that stated that Frank Kessie might not board the flight to the United States with the rest of the team amidst transfer rumors. With less than a week before the team boards the flight to America, a final decision from the midfielder appears likely only after preseason games. Of course, majority of decisions will be taken after preseason because, as we know, preseason it gives the manager the opportunity to assess many players, especially players that the club are still doubtful if they will stay or not. Even though preseason, for what I know, is not the best, does not give any accurate account or any accurate picture of a player's how can I put it? For me, decisions can't be based only on preseason because, of course, when preseasons are not competitive matches, they aren't competitive games. And of course, it's good, yes, the manager can assess certain players, but players that are deemed to leave, even if they have a decent performance in preseason games, it shouldn't change something or it shouldn't change the decision massively if Barcelona want to sell them or not. Frank Kessie will travel to America. This is according to new report, of course, contradicting earlier reports saying that due to the player's undecided future and everything, Barca will leave him at Barca, at the city of Barca, to start focusing on his future. But that won't be the case. The player will go to America with the rest of the squad, and Javi will reassess the player as well as other players who are having doubtful futures. So as it stands right now, I think if you want to put it, everything is like in a mess for Frankie's here because I think he's the highest exit link player with a lot of suitors who have been making it offers, who have been showing interest, but the player is still not decided where he wants to go. A lot of is spoken about the Saudi Arabian club showing interest, about three of them, only for the player to snub them as he doesn't want to go to the oil-rich nation at this stage of his career. He wants to continue to play at the top level in Europe. So let's see how the upcoming week will look like. Then moving on to the final story of discussion. A recent report from Dario Sport has offered an update on the future of a certain Nico Gonzalez, suggesting that the Barca youngster is edging even closer to FC Porto right now. Of course, Porto wants to reinforce options in the middle of the park. They have identified Nico as ideal man to reinforce the position, though there had been a little bit of confusion lately, especially with Alan Varela also emerging as an option. The Boca Juniors youngster is an attractive option for Porto as they can sign the player on a permanent deal. The player also has a lot of room to grow and potentially turn into a good long-term investment for the club. However, Varela has a release clause worth 15 million euros. Porto are only willing to offer 9 million for 90% of the player's rights. Boca Juniors ready to get rid of the young star for a fee of around 12 million. Porto, though, are favoring a move for Nico as he would be available on a loan deal. Barca, too, are preferring the idea of sanctioning a loan deal for Nico. The club appeared to rate the player highly, despite his relatively disappointing loan spell at Valencia. They believe Nico can grow and gain more experience with another loan move this summer. As such, they have no intention to sanction a permanent sale for the young star. As a result, Nico is moving even more closer now to joining Porto in Portugal on a loan deal. So let's see how it goes. With that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.